We've always worked together, and Mom's priority has always been work. I had taken Amanda's words like that to heart. I had selfishly thought that my mother-in-law was not very interested in the family. My name is Sam. I'm a 42-year-old office worker. 8 years ago, I married Amanda, who is 4 years older than me. Unfortunately, we have not been blessed with any children. My mother-in-law was, as Amanda said, a very active career woman. She was the complete opposite of me, making her own decisions and taking action immediately. I was the type of person people around me would say was calm and collected. I admire someone who is energetic as my mother-in-law. When I married her, I thought she was the strong person, but after talking to her more often, I found out that although her words are harsh, she is always thinking of others. She always makes good decisions, and I've grown to love my mother-in-law. My mother has already passed away, so I always relied on my mother-in-law. But Amanda doesn't seem to like her strict mother very much. She rebels against her mother at every opportunity. It seems that this has always been the case. You did this! You did that! She always points out to things she doesn't like. From what she's told me, I don't think her mom did anything wrong. Amanda seems to think that since she is the eldest daughter, she should be treated more favorably. But her mother has the same attitude towards Sarah, Amanda's sister. Sarah seems to adore her mother. I also think that Amanda is just cynical. My mother-in-law retired 2 years ago. When her father passed away that year, she lost all her energy. I want to go on a trip with my husband once I retire. Unfortunately, her dream did not come true. Our life changed when she retired as well. Mom's been acting weird lately. When Amanda said that, and I showed up at my in-laws' house, from my point of view, her mother-in-law's appearance has changed. She forgot that she had been there a while ago, or she didn't remember where she had left things. I had a bad feeling. Even so, Amanda didn't come near her mother. I wonder if she is finally losing her mind. I thought I'd put her in a home. I can't deal with her on my own. She's been working so hard. I'm sure she has money. I was furious at the way she said that. She's your mother. You need to put in more effort. But Amanda snickered. You've been brainwashed by her. Amanda didn't like the fact that I adored her mother. If you insist, why don't you take care of her? I despair at her words and called her sister, Sarah. Sarah is a mother of 2 children, the older one a college student and the younger one a junior high school student. She has a very busy life, working part-time herself. I don't contact her often because I know she is busy, but she is someone I can rely on. When I contacted Sarah, she said she would take her mother to the hospital immediately. I'm sorry I left it to you. I'll take care of the rest. But I was also worried about my mother-in-law, so we decided to go to the hospital together. After several visits to the hospital and tests, my mother-in-law was diagnosed with dementia. She had retired and her life had changed from the busy life she had been leading. The doctor also said that her father's death must have caused her to develop dementia. She was even certified as needing nursing care. We talked with Amanda and Sarah's husband. I had expected Amanda to say that she would not take care of him, but she said something unexpected. I'll live with Mom and take care of her. Sarah, you have kids and it must be hard for you. We live in a rented house near my parents-in-law's house. Even if we moved in together, our life would almost be the same. On the other hand, Sarah's place is in the next city over. If she moved in with her mother, her children's school district will also change. I decided to be a caregiver. Since then, we have been living together at my in-laws' house. My mother-in-law has lost some of her energy, but when I take her out, her eyes light up and she sometimes talks like she used to. She likes to go outside, and going out seems to refresh her. Thanks to this, her dementia was not progressed that much. On Amanda's day off, I invited her to go for a walk with me. I'm tired from work. Why bother with that? Why don't you go for a day trip somewhere? Amanda is the one who said she would live with her mother and take care of her, but I am the one who is actually taking care of her. What does she think of me and my mother-in-law? But it might be a good idea to go on a day trip. Since it's not a holiday, it should be less crowded. I'll look for a place where we can go for a day trip. When I told my mother-in-law about it, she was very happy, so we headed to a nearby resort in my car. When I returned home after enjoying the resort and food, I couldn't find Amanda. She didn't even tell me she was going somewhere. I called her out of concern, but she didn't pick up the phone. Instead, I received a message right away. I've been called by a friend and I'm going to be late. That was what her text said. I had a bad feeling about this. When I was about to get under the covers, I heard a sound of a car outside. I gently opened the curtains on the second floor window. I saw Amanda getting out of a car I didn't recognize. I quickly take a picture of her with the camera on my phone. It's too far away to see clearly. but it looks like a man is in the driver's seat. I can't tell much from this. I decided to carefully observe my wife's behavior from that day on. 3 months have passed since then. I think my mother-in-law's symptoms have improved a little from before. The hospital told me that taking her outside and doing brain training may have helped her. However, I was told that it is not a complete cure, and this must be continued. The only thing that has changed since then is that I started teaching her a little piano, which is a hobby of mine, and I started taking her to a senior center. Having new friends her own age has also been a good stimulus. In fact, when I talked to Amanda about going to the senior center, Amanda had initially suggested putting her in a home, but when it came time to talk about using the day service, "If you do that, I'll lose some of my inheritance. Why don't you take care of her from home?" I was taken aback by her words. Amanda was against it, saying it was a waste of money. "Then you should take care of Mom for the rest of the day. Sam should take a break." When Sarah said this, Amanda finally agreed to take her mother to the senior center. Sarah came to pick her up every time her mother went to the hospital and even brought her children to visit her. Moreover, when she comes here, she brings me souvenirs and meals. I want to learn from this powerful person. She is indeed her mother's daughter. The relationship between Sarah and her mother is good, and Amanda doesn't like that. Lately, she comes home late and even works on her days off. I would talk to her about the day's events and ask her how work was going, so she doesn't feel alienated. And then she would say, "You wouldn't understand if I talked to you about my work." She would say it in a condescending tone. What should I do then? One day, however, I was suddenly free of such worries. "Why do you have all that luggage?" My wife was leaving the house in the morning. I was surprised to see her carrying a suitcase. "Oh, I'm going on a business trip starting this evening. It's 4 days long, including Saturday and Sunday. They told me out of the blue yesterday. It's a total hassle." I had no choice but to let her go, but Amanda's face, while saying it was a hassle, looked happy and excited. "Where are you going?" Where was it? I don't know. I was just told about it yesterday, and I have to go to the office." Amanda averted her eyes as she said this. "Well, be careful." I sent my wife off in a hurry because she was running out of time, and she closed the front door. I thought something was fishy. I was approached by my mother-in-law. "Good morning, Sam. You know, I've got this." "What's that?" "This is from the resort where we went on a day trip before, isn't it?" What my mother-in-law was holding in her hands was a flyer for a resort that had been partially cut out. I think we were given that at the resort, and I threw it away because I didn't need it. But when I looked at it closely, I saw that it was a coupon. My mother-in-law and I looked at each other. She goes back into the bedroom and shows me her diary. She told me that she started keeping a diary after she was diagnosed with dementia. She also wrote in the diary that she suspected Amanda of cheating on me. She bows her head to me. "I'm sorry for not telling you until now. I couldn't tell if what was written here was true or not, and then this happened." I was at a loss for words for a moment. The next words that came out were, "I see." Just those 2 words. She looked as if she was about to cry. Then I smiled. "Thank you so much. Now I'm sure of what to do." Her expression changed drastically. I told her that I'd suspected Amanda's affair too, and that I hadn't told her because I thought she would be sad. She seems to be in a good mood today. It's as if she doesn't have dementia. I'm convinced that Amanda is cheating on me, but I want more proof. When my mother-in-law asked me, "What's wrong?" I was able to tell her that I wanted a divorce from Amanda. When she heard that, she started to call someone on the phone. After about an hour, the intercom rang. It was someone from my mother-in-law's former workplace. She used to work at a law firm, and this person seemed to be a lawyer who specializes in divorce. I would have never thought that she would help me sue her own daughter. I talked to the lawyer and asked him what I should do. As I was doing so, the intercom rang again. It was Sarah. "I'm really sorry for being such a bad sister." Sarah repeatedly apologized for her sister's mistakes. I was surprised, but reassured that she was on my side. The next day, me and my mother-in-law headed to the resort in Sarah's car. There, the car that had driven Amanda home several times was parked. Then we saw Amanda and a man. When I took a picture of the scene with my camera, I noticed something extraordinary. The man was holding a little boy in his arms. My heart was racing. I had once found a child's toy in Amanda's bag. I simply wondered why. "I had dinner out with a co-worker's family, so maybe that's when it happened. I will return it to my colleague." That's what she told me, and I was convinced by her explanation. Maybe it belonged to that little boy. I suppressed my impulse and went home. Once I decided to get a divorce, I followed my plan. First, I called the moving company. "I talked to you about this yesterday, but can we do the move right now? The moving company immediately checked and said, "No problem," and gave me a simple and quick answer. My mother-in-law and I packed up our belongings and I called another company. An hour later, the movers arrived. They loaded up my stuff and my mother-in-law's stuff in no time. I asked Sarah to keep my belongings at her house. Sarah rented a monthly apartment for me. Sarah's husband works for a real estate company, so she found a place for me right away, and I had one more job left to do. After the movers left, another company came. "Would you like me to change the locks?" "Yes." Me and my mother-in-law nodded, and the work started right away. Amanda would no longer be able to enter the house. The house is in my mother-in-law's name, so I don't need Amanda's permission to do anything. The next day, I headed to the government office first thing in the morning. I know it's not what I expected, but I have to make sure. If there is an illegitimate child, the information will be included in the mother's family documents. The husband has the right to request that, so I checked it. I knew it. I was astonished when I saw it. My wife has an illegitimate child. The child I saw yesterday must be hers. It's disgusting that she cheated on me, had a child, and raised the child behind my back. I had no feelings for my wife. I'm going to get revenge. Then, at night, I received a phone call from my wife. "Sam, I can't open the door. What's going on?" "Huh? I changed the locks, so it's only natural that it won't open with the one you have." "What? You changed the locks?" "That's not your home, right? Besides, we've already moved out of there." Amanda's voice sounded panicked. It made me laugh to think of her. "You leave your mother with dementia to your husband, and you cheat on me? You even had a child and took a trip to a resort on the pretense of a business trip. What's more, you chose a resort that you told your husband and mother about." "I just happened to have some coupons at home." "How is it possible that you traveled with a cheating partner using a coupon that you had?" Amanda is saying something, but it's not in words at all. She really thinks I don't know anything. "You should at least get a divorce when you have a child." "Well, I guess if you were divorced, you'd have no choice but to take care of your mother, so you couldn't divorce me." Amanda finally spoke up. "No, it's not like that." I was laughing, as I had expected. Then Sarah, who was standing next to me, couldn't take it anymore and started yelling at Amanda. "Then tell us what it's like." Amanda was surprised to hear Sarah's voice. I told Amanda, "You're currently on speaker so everyone can hear this conversation. Sarah, your mother, and my lawyer are all here." "What are you doing? I didn't do anything. It's a misunderstanding." I had never yelled at Amanda before, but her refusal to admit anything made me so angry that I let out a loud yell. "If it was a misunderstanding, you wouldn't have a child in your records. Can't you see that your words are not only mocking me, but also your affair partner and your child? Are you going to tell me that you had a child by mistake?" Amanda fell silent. "I'm getting a divorce. Then you're on your own." Wait a minute. That'll trouble me." What do you mean it'll trouble you? If I don't do it, then it'll trouble me." "Because, my mom." When she said that, her mother yelled at her. "You think you can force your divorced husband to take care of your mother? First of all, apologize to Sam. Show me your sincerity. You can rest assured that I will not be indebted to you or your affair partner. In return, I will not leave you my inheritance when I die." Amanda goes silent. I open my mouth for the last time. "I've known about your affair for a while, but I couldn't tell you because of your mother. But with the help of your mother and sister, I decided to divorce you. You turned out to be a lousy wife, but I was happy to have the best mother-in-law and sister-in-law. That's the only thing I appreciate about you." I said that and hung up the phone. My mother-in-law cried. Later that day, Amanda and I officially divorced. I filed a claim for alimony against Amanda and her affair partner through a lawyer. I also sent a content-certified letter to Amanda's company. Amanda's company seemed to have found out and is making it harder for her to stay at the company. However, it seems that she could not quit her job in order to earn child support and living expenses. The amount of alimony jumped due to the fact that she had given birth in secret. I was able to get a substantial amount of alimony. My mother-in-law said, "This is an apology for all the trouble I've caused you." She shared her inheritance with me, and she instructed Sarah to use the rest of the money and property for hospital and facility fees. Sarah's eldest son has successfully found a job and left home. Now my mother-in-law is sitting at Sarah's house. I bought an apartment near there. I'm still friends with my mother-in-law and Sarah's family. At her suggestion, I became a certified music therapist. I am leading a fulfilling life, playing the piano and teaching at senior centers and other facilities.